Hello students, in the series of lectures in the subject VLSI technology, today we will discuss polysilicon deposition of polysilicon. In the previous lecture, we discussed the process of deposition and we discussed four types of reactors that are being used for the deposition of various uh, components, okay, such as polysilicon, silicon dioxide, silicon nitride, and all that. Okay. Now, first of all, what is the use of polysilicon? So, polysilicon is basically used as a gate electrode in most devices. Okay. So, polysilicon gates are generally used. There was a time when the metal layer that was deposited onto the silicon dioxide layer that was of aluminum, but polysilicon replaced those aluminum completely, and that's why these polysilicon gates are very famous now. Okay. Now, along with whenever we do the deposition of polysilicon, a metal or metal silicides such as tungsten, okay, or tantalum silicide may be deposited over this polysilicon in order to increase the electrical conductivity. Okay, this is the additional thing we can do. Okay, it is just like as we deposit coconut onto a burfi. Okay, so polysilicon is basically deposited by a reactant that is called silane gas, SiH4. Okay, so pyrolyzing silane gas is used in order to deposit the polysilicon onto the wafer or onto the substrate. Okay, and temperature is maintained between 575 and 650 degrees centigrade in a low pressure reactor. Okay, so the reactors we discussed in the previous lecture, and the first reactor was hot wall low pressure CVD reactor. That is the most suitable reactor for the deposition of polysilicon. Okay, so in that reactor, basically wafers are placed vertical with respect to the flow of gas. Gas flow uh, means this is the rough diagram that we can see. So this is your reactor chamber. Okay. In this chamber, wafers are placed vertically. Okay. Now we use a three-zone furnace in this chamber, and gas is allowed to pass through this direction to this direction. This is the outlet. Okay. So gas flow is perpendicular to the direction of to the direction to the surface of the wafer. Okay. So the chemical reaction that is involved is this silane is decomposed into silicon and hydrogen. Okay, this is very simple reaction that takes place, and polysilicon is formed. Now, as we have deposited the polysilicon, there are certain processes that are also followed. So, what are those processes that are being followed? Includes doping, etching, and oxidation. Okay. Now, as we have seen that we use hot wall low pressure CVD reactor. So what is the low pressure that means for? Okay. So the two low pressure processes are common for the deposition of polysilicon. Okay. So first one is we use 100% silane gas at a pressure of 25 to 130 Pascal. So at a pressure of 25 to 130 Pascal, we use 100% silane gas. This is one process, this is one method by which we can deposit the polysilicon layer. Other process includes the same pressure but we use 20 to 30% silane diluted in nitrogen. This is another way of depositing polysilicon onto the substrate. Okay, so there are two ways by which we can deposit. Okay, either we can use 100% silane, or we can use 20 to 30% silane in the liquid nitrogen, diluted in nitrogen. Okay, now comes the deposition variables. So what are the variables that basically affect the deposition rates? Okay, so these variables are temperature, pressure, the concentration of silane, and dopant concentration. Okay, so these are the variables. So how these variables affect the deposition rate? Okay, so first of all, let us consider the case of temperature. Now deposition rate basically increases as the temperature is increased. Deposition rate basically increases as we increase the temperature. So as you can see here, on the horizontal axis, temperature is in denominator. So if we increase the temperature, we are going towards this side, right to left. Okay. So as we are increasing the temperature, we can easily see that the deposition rate is increasing obviously. Okay. Okay. But as you can see here, as the temperature goes high, this deposition rate no longer remain a straight line. In fact, at a pressure of 2.7 and 1.3 Pascal, deposition rate actually reducing. Okay, why this is happening, we will discuss in a few minutes. Okay, so the outline is that deposition rate increases as the temperature is increased. Okay, so first variable affect the deposition rate like this. Now, how can we define the mathematical formulation for that? So R is the deposition rate of polysilicon. So that is defined as A into e raised to the power minus QEA upon kT, where A is the frequency factor, Q is the electric charge, EA is the activation energy in electron volt, K is Boltzmann constant, and T is the temperature in Kelvin. So it is clearly seen from the formula that as we increase the temperature, deposition rate will increase. Okay, but let us consider the condition at higher temperature. So as the temperature is increased and temperature becomes higher, okay, so reaction rate becomes much faster. Means the reaction that is been involved in which HiH4 was decomposing into silicon and hydrogen. This reaction I'm talking about. So at very high temperature, what happens is this reaction rate increases very high, increases to very high value. Okay. Now, when the reaction rate is increasing so much, that is SiH4 is decomposing very quickly into silicon and hydrogen. Okay. So the rate at which SiH4 is arriving at the surface, let's say this is the surface. This is the surface onto which polysilicon layer you want to deposit. And there is a supply of silane gas here. So the rate at which SiH4 is coming here, the rate at which SiH4 is coming here is less than the reaction rate. Reaction is going very fast. Okay. So at the surface, SiH4 is consuming very fast. But the supply of HiS4 to the surface is not that much fast. So what will happen? What will happen? At higher temperatures, we will no longer see the increase in reaction, deposition rate. Okay. Now, if we have two deposition rates R1 and R2 at two particular temperatures T1 and T2, then we can formulate another relation like this. Okay. Now, second variable is pressure. So polysilicon deposition at reduced pressure is limited to a temperature range of 575 to 650 degrees centigrade. Okay. As we increase the temperature, the gas phase reactions become significant. The reactions that are taking place in the gas phase become significant. Okay. So pressure in the chamber, in the reactor, can be varied by changing the gas flow, okay, into the reactor. So there are three factors by which we can change the pressure. First is by changing the pumping speed. If we change the pumping speed, then the pressure of gas will vary. Okay. Another method is if the gas contains silane and nitrogen solution, means the second method that we discussed, means we are using silane, 20 to 30% silane diluted in nitrogen. Okay. Then we have two components, that is SiH4 and nitrogen. Okay. So what we can do? We can change the flow of nitrogen gas, but we can keep HiH4 flow constant. So by keeping the silane flow constant and changing the flow of nitrogen, we can also change the pressure. Another thing is that we can change the flow of both components, SiH4 and nitrogen, but keeping the ratio of these SiH4 and nitrogen, keeping the ratio of these constant. This is another method. Okay. And by changing the pumping speed, we can also change the pressure. Okay. So if we change the total flow of the gas, means we are changing the flow of silane as well as nitrogen, then we found that it is directly proportional to the pressure. Okay. This can be cleared with the help of this diagram. So if we vary total gas flow, then we see that the deposition rate is basically directly proportional to the total pressure. Okay. Now if we vary nitrogen flow, okay, so we have relation like this. Now if we have pump speed changed, then again pressure is changing. Okay, pressure is changing. So again we will have higher deposition rates. So in all the diagrams you can see that if we change the pressure, deposition rate is increased. Okay. Third variable is concentration. So deposition rate is not a linear function of the silane concentration. Okay. So in this diagram, you can see that at silane partial pressure, if we increase the partial pressure, okay, and partial pressure is directly proportional to the concentration by Henry's law. So as you can see, by increasing the concentration, the deposition rate basically varies non-linearly like this. And this we have already seen, as we increase the temperature, deposition rate increases. So this is the curve then that we get in this particular case. Now how this is happening, why this is happening, we can see. So silane is first absorbed on the surface. This is basically adsorbed on the surface. Adsorbed means adhesion, this is the surface, let's say, and silane is coming. Okay, so the molecules of silane will adhere to the surface. Okay, चिपक जाना. Okay, adhesion to the surface. First of all, this will happen. Okay, now SiH4, that was gas, it adhesion to the surface. Then this SiH4 that has been adsorbed on the surface, it decomposes into SiH2 and hydrogen, okay, that are also adsorbed. Now this SiH2 again decomposes into polysilicon and hydrogen is adsorbed. Now this hydrogen adsorbed is converted into hydrogen gas. So these are the reactions that actually takes place internally. Okay. So the overall reaction is SiH4 is decomposing into silicon and hydrogen. So these are the intermediate reactions that takes place. Okay. Now, what is the structure of polysilicon? So if we deposit the polysilicon at a temperature below 575 degrees centigrade, so what we get is amorphous polysilicon. And if we deposit the polysilicon at a temperature above 625 degrees centigrade, what we get is polycrystalline silicon, that is the required form. So at a temperature of 605, this is found practically that at a temperature of 605 degrees centigrade, what we are getting is amorphous polysilicon. At a temperature of 630, we are getting polycrystalline, and at a temperature of 700 degrees centigrade, we are getting crystalline grains. Okay. What are the properties now? What are the properties of polysilicon? So chemical and physical properties of polysilicon basically depends upon the film structure, whether the structure is amorphous or polysilicon. Okay, or these properties, chemical and physical properties of polysilicon, also depends upon the dopant concentrations. Okay. Polysilicon is basically eased in a CF4 and oxygen solution or CF3Cl plus chlorine plasma. Now, optical properties of polysilicon depends upon its structure. Okay. Now, other properties of polysilicons are its density, that is 2.3 gram per centimeter cube, and coefficient of thermal expansion of polysilicon is 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 6 per degree centigrade. Okay, so this was all about the deposition of polysilicon. In the next lecture, we will discuss deposition of silicon dioxide. Thank you.